What is going on, SoFi fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to give you a quick overview of the data points, some latest updates from SoFi, and where things might be going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So it is currently down 0.34%, but behind the scenes is showing a lot of good momentum and wantingness to go up. Over the last little bit, it has been kind of trading between that 100-day moving average and that central Bollinger Band, but for the most part, the 100-day moving average has held fairly well. And as of right now, I do feel that there's a lot of good momentum being had with SoFi and wantingness to go up because of the upcoming earnings, which in my opinion are going to be fairly good. And like I've already brought up on another video, there isn't any new press releases or anything. They did submit on the 14th the new SEC filing, so this is their upcoming shareholder meeting, which is set for June the 14th, 2023. I think in reality the only kind of touchy one right here is number 4, and that is that whole reverse split once again. So in reality, it's not that big of a deal, and the only reason why this is being proposed once again versus the last shareholder meeting is it's only good for 1 year tentatively. So since they didn't really enact the whole reverse split, this is why it is once again being proposed on. And I still, in case you guys are worried about it, I don't see it as a big deal, because to get, for instance, being classified as a penny stock is significantly worse than not. And especially in SoFi's case, over the last several earnings, they've had home run earnings. So a lot more institutions have been increasing their position with SoFi, and you can tell that based on the latest round of 13Fs. So when it comes down to a stock being below that $5 mark for 10 consecutive days, it is considered a penny stock, and in many cases, a lot of institutions and hedge funds, for instance, cannot hold, for instance, penny stocks in certain accounts and trusts and things like that, and especially more so on margin as well. So definitely might cause a little bit more of a potential downtrend. But right now, I think everyone's priority is the upcoming earnings on May the 1st. Keep in mind, I'm going to live stream that, so don't forget to hit that thumbs up and join that. It is an early one, so on a FYI, it is 7 a.m., so bright and early. But yeah, in general, I'll go over all the things you need to know. One thing I just wanted to bring up is, given the price right now, so $5.80, the fair market value that has been placed on SoFi from Morningstar as of right now is $14. And surprisingly, they actually upped it. It was previously $11. So definitely this is a pretty big deal in my opinion. And like I've been saying for a while, SoFi and a lot of other growth stocks have been completely slammed, too much so in reality. So this is where I do feel that once it does start to gain a little bit more of a momentum, especially like I said with their upcoming earnings, this can definitely go up very, very fast. But when it comes down to it, I just want to give you some additional information, one of which is this. So as you can see, this is all the options activity today, and it is very much oriented towards calls. So $1.41 million worth of calls versus 705 for puts. And once again, that's a nice change of events that has been happening. So clearly a lot of people are very much positive and FOMOing into their earnings potentially. And the only thing that, again, on a side note, is this: you do see a little bit more of a reduction in the number of transactions that have been getting in. So big money is a little bit more still hesitant with SoFi, and I feel it has nothing to do with SoFi particularly, it's just the broader market. So again, it's kind of getting dragged down with the market, but like I said, based on every single one of their earnings, it is always a home run earnings. So once again, make sure you guys do your own due diligence, because I am not a financial advisor. But quickly, just moving on from that, give you guys a quick overview of this and what shorts are doing, for instance. And like I've said in the past, I don't see SoFi being a squeeze by any means, but this is a good benchmark to kind of go based off of. So short score is currently 68, utilization is around 64. So even based on those two numbers, I can already tell it's not going to be a squeeze. Cost to borrow average is 0.34%, so that is just pennies. That's nothing. But once again, to use this as a benchmark, the fact that SoFi is red today, but yet they're returning 519,000 shares, that in reality is very optimistic. Currently, 11.78% of the free float is being shorted, and that works out to be 93.24 million shares. So pretty significant, and you never know if there is a amazing home run earnings that they actually announced, for instance, 20 billion, for instance, just random number, for for actual deposits, then yeah, that would be like, ooh, that'd be amazing. But still, that might cause a little bit more of a squeeze. But like I said, outside of that, I don't anticipate it happening. Currently, right now, $5.82. So based on the fib levels, it is currently within the S1 and also the pivot. So generally, it is very good and desired by obviously Wall Street and stuff like that. A lot of other growth stocks as of right now are trading between the S3 and the S2, which is considered for the most part junk in this kind of concept right now. But like I said, based on the technicals, it's kind of just wedge bound between here right now. On a positive note, I just want to show you this. So Riley did post this. So SoFi is now offering 4.2% APY. So definitely another good thing. And of course, that always does signal and kind of leads to a little bit more of a higher number of member growth. And of course, if you have higher member growth, then that means you have more product growth and more deposits. It's a very beautiful domino effect. But as of right now, looking at stochastic, it is currently at 51, so a little bit more neutral in that regard, but it did go from very much overbought to, like I said, neutral-ish. There is a little bit more of an underlying bear sentiment, but like I said, I think that is to do with larger, broader economic concerns and not SoFi. Momentum, number of retail investors are starting to get back in today. So when it comes down to it, technicals are looking kind of neutral-ish, but there is a lot of good bullish indicators behind the scenes. So once again, make sure you guys do your own due diligence. I do feel that leading up to their earnings, there will be a nice little bit more of a value rally and a kind of FOMO, like I already mentioned. So in general, a lot of big things coming. And like I've already said in the past, and I will continue to say, SoFi is one of those diamonds in the rough that you want to kind of hold close and don't worry about the volatility. Don't worry about the whole people talking on reverse split or whatever it is. SoFi is very, very well established, and they've done a lot to mitigate a lot of the risks in their business. But with all that said, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. If you like my SoFi content, want to support the channel, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.